Hey, what's up you guys? Shartimus Prime here doing another trailer review on Spider-Man Homecoming, the official trailer. Now there are two trailers out there right now. There is an international trailer and then there's the official trailer or the US trailer. 2 days ago we got the teaser trailer which I had seen, which just showed us very little but showed us enough to get excited, right? Okay, so I gotta tell you, I am just gushing in excitement. I'm speechless. Look at me stuttering like a fool over here. I'm so happy. I can't remember the last time I rewatched a trailer so many times. The wife and I were in the middle of watching Yoga Hosers, and then you know, at one point I saw on my phone a couple people sent me the you know, the link to the video, and I was like, oh babe, we gotta watch this. She's like, alright. This is like the second time you're like dissing Kevin Smith here, because I left, you know, I ditched the Kevin Smith panel a couple years ago to go to the Star Wars Symphony thing. Anyway, so we put it on. By the way, it got spoiled by some like some Russian YouTube channel spoils the, you know, spoiled something. So if you haven't seen the trailers, check them out. Links are in the description below. You have to watch. I'm assuming everybody's watching anybody watching this video has already seen it, but I was watching it over and over again for a half hour straight. She was getting like a little frustrated. She's like, okay, look, like we're watching a movie. Can we go back to watching the movie now? Like you're just watching that thing over and over and over again. Woke up this morning watching it over and over and over again, watching the international one. So I want to talk about the different things that we see in this trailer. Okay, so first off, I want to say that it's kind of interesting that we did not see the clip of that first person scene of Spider-Man and Happy. We don't see that in this trailer. You know, when he opens up the, oh, what, the case? You didn't see the case? Oh, you know what I mean? That whole thing, we don't see that in this trailer. But the first real opening scene, I mean, we get some beautiful shots of New York and everything. We get this whole scene of Spider-Man taking on these thugs that have these lame Avengers masks on there, and just that little part right there is extremely exciting. I mean, you just see them all just chilling on the side. He's like, hey, you're not the real Avengers. And he's like really throwing down the New York accent, which I noticed in Civil War, which I really loved. But this time we really have a Spider-Man that has very distinct New York accent. From what I've heard from people from New York are very excited about that and think that it's a good accent, you know what I mean? Now, Tom Holland's obviously not from New York, he's from England, but he's playing it very well. He's doing some very good acting there with the voice. We see Liz Allen as the love interest. Yes! Okay, so before there was Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, there was Betty Brant and Liz Allen. And I think that's fantastic that we're going with the Betty Brant, Liz Allen thing, possibly. At least just Liz Allen. We know Liz Allen's in there. And now it's kind of, now in the comics, Peter's not really into Liz that much. That's Flash's girl. Peter's all about Betty Brant, and Liz is just all about Peter and kind of making Flash jealous and stuff, which is kind of, you know, which adds to the complex relationship between Flash and Peter. I don't think we saw any Flash Thompson anywhere in the trailer. We do see Genki, who's a character from who's Miles Morales' best friend, so that's kind of like, I feel like they've already eliminated the possibility of us ever getting a Miles Morales. I don't know, just from that, I'm like, oh, okay, well, there goes Miles. No Miles at all, like ever, because that's a strong supporting character to the Miles Morales Spider-Man. But I'm happy to see Genki there, you know what I mean? It looks like we get, it adds a little dynamic, you know, a nice dynamic to Peter. And then we have that girl off to the side saying, you guys are losers because they're staring too long. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, is that Betty Brant? Is that Betty? Is that Betty Brant? And then it makes me think, like, maybe she's, because Betty Brant works for J. Jonah Jameson. And then we also don't see any signs of J. Jonah Jameson in this trailer either. And it's kind of making me think like, oh, are we not going to have J. Jonah Jameson? That's a huge part of Peter Parker. But if they do have that, I would love it if they if he was running a television station and the internet was kind of like, and they showed like that whole conflict of television kind of getting devoured by the internet. You know, people are watching more news on the internet now, more and more than on television. And in the early comics, J. Jonah Jameson is kind of tripping out off of television, eating up the newspaper industry. And that's early on. Like, that was always something that I thought that was that was brought up later, but it's actually very early on in the comics that Jonah Jameson, and I'm reading from Amazing Spider-Man all the way through right now. I'm on issue 106, so I'm doing a full-on Amazing. I'm on a huge Spider-Man high. I've been a Spidey fan my whole life, but reading from Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 going all the way through, it actually starts on Amazing 15, but then Amazing Spider-Man 1 just makes me love the character and love all the characters around Spidey even more. So I'm kind of curious if they bring in J. Jonah Jameson. The scene with Tony in the car is great. You know, don't do what I would do, but don't do what I wouldn't do. Like, you gotta find. And then he does this thing where he tries to open the door for him, which is weird. So they have that awkward hug, and I love the dynamic between Tony Stark and Peter Parker. I mean, we already saw it in Civil War, but seeing it again over here, I think it's great. But weird, right? Like, if you're a teenager and a man is like reaching over like that to you, you're like, oh, okay, a hug. That's kind of weird. But he's like, oh, no, I'm just opening the door for you. I'm like, okay, even more weird. Like, I would be like, I don't want to really hang out with this dude that much. Like, I don't know, I'm going to go tell my aunt. Like, I don't know. I thought that, like, who does that, right? Like, oh yeah, handle's right there. I don't know. I teach drum lessons. I have kids that I teach with, and if you're around kids, like, you don't want to do anything like that, you know what I mean? I don't really touch the kids, so, like, don't touch kids. I don't know. Just try to stay away from touching kids, Tony. Just think it's a little bit weird, bro, right? A little bit weird. Alright, anyway, see what Tony, and then I have my little notes right here. We get that awesome shot of Spidey wall crawl or ceiling crawling with no mask on, and Genki's holding a Lego Death Star and drops it. But that shot, just seeing the dim light of Spidey crawling upside down with no mask, I was like, oh, right out of the pages, man, right out of the damn pages. In the international trailer, there's just a cool shot of him just taking the mask off, and it's just every time, I just think Tom Holland looks so great as a teenage Peter Parker. And I really like the Spidey suit, so it's just like, oh man, it just hits a geek spot so damn hard. I'm so stoked about it. I love that he has that little button on the Spidey logo, and it's like a suction thing that goes around his body. That is sick. That explains a lot, right? I mean, come on, tights are tough to get into. It just goes around, just hit the button, it comes off. Awesome, awesome, I love it. The freaking Vulture, oh my god, man, it looks like we are getting a really good villain over here. Michael Keaton as the Vulture, oh jeez, and the lines that he's delivering, like, I will kill you and everybody you love, or I can't remember exactly what he said, but I'm so happy with the choice, especially with him being Batman and then doing the Birdman, and then now he's the Vulture, man. And I love how the Vulture looks, too. The Vulture he's got the feathers coming around here. I didn't expect that coming. When the very first time I saw the Vulture coming down with all the machinery and the giant talon things and the turbines and all that stuff, I was like, whoa, man, it looks like an aircraft more than like a Vulture suit. But seeing more shots in here, I'm really liking it a lot more. And by the way, thanks, Manny, for sending me the picture. There's a Marvel Legends Vulture coming out. That looks incredible, man. So, yeah, so I haven't checked yet, but I'm sure images are at marvelousnews.com. But the Vulture, geez, and he's got the helmet on and the little beady eyes. And if you notice, like, the Vulture doesn't have a helmet in the comics, but there is the Blackie Vulture that does wear the helmet, where the helmet comes in later on. So it's still true to the comics, because Vulture, there is a Vulture version that does have the helmet. And then we see the Vulture flying around with this thing that, like, he's like a cannon that's shooting like a laser thing out of it. And it looks like that's like the power suction device the Vulture uses, because the Vulture doesn't just fly around. Like, he'll like take your energy from you and use it to keep himself young and living and stuff. So I think that's what that was. Anyway, that's my guess. And then we also get a shocker. Now in the international version, you clearly see this black dude with the device and shunk right there, and boom, blast Spidey, and he hits the school bus thing, right? But in this US version, I paused it, and you see this white guy holding this device. And now the white dude's got the baggy quilted orange look on the sleeves. Not a full-on shocker. And then there's like, I think it's the same black dude from before standing to his right. So I don't know which one's the shocker, you know what I mean? Because this wasn't a gauntlet he was holding, it was like a gun. But he did have attire that looked like the shocker. So I don't know which one. I may have missed, they may have already talked about the actor who's playing the shocker. I don't know who it is. If they did, I missed it. But let me know if you happen to know, okay? But yeah, I thought that was cool from what little tiny bit that we saw of the shocker already. And then we see just one clip of Aunt May, which took me a second to like find. Like at first I was like, wait, they didn't show any Aunt May. It's like, because freaking Marissa Tomei is so damn fine, you don't recognize her as Aunt May. She's like the hot chick in the movie. Always been a fan of Marissa Tomei. My cousin Vinny, dude, as a kid I was always just fascinated with New York, and you know, because so many, you know, like Ninja Turtles and you get, shoot, I'm like there's a lot, well, I guess mostly, Ninja Turtles, but Ninja Turtles and all the superheroes all take place in New York. So it's like, for me as a kid growing up and seeing a lot of movies as a kid, you know, that take place in New York, it's just a very fascinating place. And then like, as a kid seeing my cousin Vinny, it's like, oh, these are what New York women are like damn! So my cousin Vinny, Marissa Tomei, also appearing in Seinfeld, very exciting. I also love Seinfeld, so yeah, Marissa Tomei, all day Marissa Tomei. And then I think it was in the international trailer, you see him saving her, which is the thing that happens in the comics where Spidey's got to rescue Aunt May and everything, and then we get that shot of Spidey holding that that Staten Island ferry together, you know what I mean? Like he's just holding those two huge pieces together. And the wife and I almost went on that ferry, but we did not. We did a different thing. We did the Ellis Island Liberty, Statue of Liberty. Anyway, at the very end, we get the money shot of Spidey swinging along with Iron Man flying by. And that got spoiled for me by, I think it was like Kino something, that stupid Russian YouTube channel. Ah, those bastards, man! But, oh my goodness, it looks so cool. I would have never thought that I would have seen that. And what mark is that? That's a new Iron Man suit. That's definitely not 46 armor. Okay, so we have a new armor. I don't know if they're going, like, I don't know exactly what time this movie takes place in, too, in relation to Civil War. Oh, no, it obviously takes place after Civil War. It takes place after Civil War. Spidey's watching the clip of him, you know, swinging around Giant Man. So we get a brand new armor for Iron Man, and I don't know if it's the Mark 47 or what, but new armor for Iron Man. And just the thought of like watching this movie, like we have Tom Holland, who I already think is great. We have Robert Downey Jr. and Michael Keaton. Like just those three right there. Oh my goodness, I am thrilled. I am so excited for this. I'm probably just going to go watch the trailers some more. I hope you guys enjoyed the trailers as much as I did. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like, please hit the subscribe button. If you're subscribed and you have not hit the notification bell, please hit that notification bell so you can get notices of when my videos are popping up in the subscription feed. YouTube's making all kinds of changes all the time, so notification bell. Yeah, that's the thing now. Alright, ding-a-ding, whatever. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you later. I'll have a review coming up later today. Mayfix Boba Fett. I'll catch you later. Peace!